our utmost. And the proof of the pudding is in its eating, and we're sure that in the next general elections, women will constitute the bulk of our support.
To the position of Prime Minister in Pakistan, the first woman ever to head an Islamic State. Her efforts to effect advancement and change by restoring democracy in her homeland have opened doors for countless others to follow. Dedicated to encouraging programs for health, social welfare, and education, Benazir Bhutto transcended the political arena and established herself as a visionary world leader.
She has been elected Prime Minister, the first democratically elected female leader of a Muslim nation.
Certainly not. I was not born to be a politician, and I never wanted to enter politics. But I was sucked into it by a set of circumstances beyond my control. I still don't think I was born to be a politician. I saw my father. He loved politics. It was a passion with him. And for me, it's really a duty. And it's a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline. But there's no passion as such in it. It's really more a dedication than a passion. I think it's a very big and awesome responsibility. And I feel that I carry a terrible burden to live up to all the expectations and to live up to the responsibility that has been given to me. Neither detonated one, nor have we got nuclear weapons. We have the capability and the capacity to do it. But since we believe in non-proliferation, we would rather not do so unless there was a threat that was so severe that left us no other option. But being a responsible state and a state committed to non-proliferation, we in Pakistan, through 5 successive governments, have taken a policy decision to follow a peaceful nuclear program. That Pakistan, an old friend and ally, is being treated in this way, and that if these weapons equipment was contracted for before the sanctions went into effect, then they should be returned to Pakistan, or the money should be returned to Pakistan. Now, there are a responsible global player, whether it's combating narcotic trafficking, or combating terrorism, or combating illegal immigration. Pakistan is in the forefront of all these battles. We were very shocked by the incident in which 2 American diplomats were targeted and were killed. And we've condemned that. But I think in our fight for common principles, we have to be courageous. And the investigations that we have done so far show that this unfortunate killing was probably a reaction to the extradition. My husband, of course, wanted me to pass on a message to her. Everybody thinks in Pakistan that my husband's the real Prime Minister. So he said, please tell Mrs. Clinton, only she knows it's not true. Larry, why do you think I enjoy it? I don't think it's enjoyable at all. I think it's a tremendous responsibility. It's a very big duty. And for me, it's really a task that I've undertaken to fulfill.
You don't like it then?
I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy power. For my father, being in government or being in power or politics was like a romance with the people. And for me, it's always been a duty.
A duty you have to do?
Well, I never wanted to go into politics. I thought it was too dangerous. I'd seen my father, the attempts on his life, the disruption in the family, kids not knowing when father was coming and going. So I thought for me, a nice state job, either at the Foreign Office or running a newspaper. But then when my father was imprisoned, I suddenly found myself propelled onto the center stage, and I just had to respond to people. Agreements between our countries in more than 2 decades. So it was a big move forward. But then he went out of office, and then I went out of office. And by the time I was re-elected, the repression in the occupied valley of Kashmir had reached such peaks that we found it very difficult to get India to do something about it.
Why is Kashmir so unsettleable?
Kashmir is settleable, can be settled if South Africa can be settled, if the Middle East peace process can begin.
You would think.
And if in Northern Ireland steps can be taken to bring about a political process, why not Kashmir? But if you look at the situation in the Middle East, there were outside powers that played a role in promoting a settlement on the basis of the UN resolution. And so too in South Africa, it was the world community which took a stand. And I think it's very important for the world community or the United Nations or the United States to help mediate a peace in the subcontinent.
And they're not doing that?
I think that the powers are inhibited. They want both parties to agree. Now, while Pakistan is very happy with U.S. mediation, India doesn't want any U.S. mediation. While Pakistan is very happy with UN mediation, India doesn't want
what
UN
does India
mediation.
want?
Well, India wants Pakistan to accept that Kashmir is part of the Indian Union. The problem is that the United Nations says it's not.
Yeah. Why,
the problem is that the Kashmiris say it's not.
Why, though?
Democratic rule is the main message of this visit. That and a reminder that this young woman's attempts to build on that democracy needs American help.
We gather together friends and partners who have fought side by side for liberty. We gather together to celebrate freedom, to celebrate democracy.
Talking with the Today Show, the Prime Minister stressed the need to continue supporting the opposition fight in Afghanistan.
We supported the people of Afghanistan because they were fighting for their freedom. And we think they've achieved one of their primary goals, which is the withdrawal of Soviet troops. But at the same time, one must remember that the present administration there was brought about by foreign intervention and is a symbol of foreign intervention. And it's important now not to be slack in the support.
Well, you have a significant problem, one I suppose that actually threatens your administration, the 3.6 million refugees now there.
That's right. It's a very large population.
And you have to have them go home, don't you?
Yes, we would like to have the stability so that they can return to their home. I haven't found it a hindrance. And the reason I haven't is because the people of the country voted me in. They support what we're doing. And it's their love and warmth and support which really carries us through. The opposition and their supporters include the fundamentalists. They try to go on to town that, oh, how terrible, a woman has come and now there'll be all sorts of horrors in Pakistan. But as to disprove them, Allah blessed the country with lots of rain, and that's supposed to be good tidings, so things haven't gone the way the fundamentalists might have liked.
Pushed from the headlines by events in China, Khomeini's death in Iran, Bhutto has not attracted the public attention the world's first woman leader of a Muslim country might have expected while in the United States. But speaking to Congress, she more than met her goal, making friends and winning support for the struggle to maintain democracy in Pakistan. For today, Henry Champ, NBC News, Washington.
It is an honor for me to be able to communicate with you today on tape. I'd very much wanted to be in San Francisco, but due to the continuing legal and political harassment of my party, my family, and myself by the Islamabad regime, it was impossible for me to leave the country at this moment. Distinguished friends, I have great empathy for that amazing leader of democracy, Aung San Suu Kyi, who of course could not be with you today because she would not be allowed to return to her country if she left. I had wished to be with the International Leadership Forum because it would have given me the opportunity to talk, exchange information, and network with a truly extraordinary group of women who have overcome all obstacles and succeeded in politics, government, business, the academy, and the arts. Women like Kim Campbell, the former Prime Minister of the great Western country of Canada, who overcame barriers and bigots to lead her party and her nation through a most difficult period of Canadian history. Knowing all odds were against her did not stop her from assuming leadership. She is a model of determination and grace. I wanted to be with this extraordinary group of Renaissance women assembled in San Francisco today who have broken ceilings and broken ground often at considerable personal cost, so that our daughters, your daughters and mine, and billions like them across the planet will someday have limitless opportunities for growth, development, and productivity. All of us gathered in San Francisco at this conference have a dream. We who sacrificed much, suffered much, but struggled on to achieve success, dream that our daughters and our granddaughters will not have to face the discriminatory barriers that have been put in our paths, yours and mine, by those entrenched forces who even today cling to the shreds of the status quo, immobilized by the fear of social, political, and economic change. Distinguished friends, as we cross into a new century and a new millennium, we should take stock of where we are, where we are going. The 20th century was a century which witnessed 2 world wars, the rise of communism, the Holocaust, the dominance of dictatorial regimes, of oppression and of tyranny. A century where states sought to crush the dignity of men and women. But in the twilight of this century, the indomitable spirit of humankind rose to assert itself. From the ashes of the Cold War arose an era marked by universal demands for freedom, for democracy, for dignity. A world dawned which witnessed the emergence of a global value system based on human rights. All of us gathered in San Francisco at this conference believe that any denial of human rights, the right to life, to liberty, to self-determination, to gender equality, the right to equal opportunity, to education, to jobs, health, and housing, any abridgment of these fundamental human rights is unconscionably, inexcusably inhumane. We who are gathered here believe in justice and modernity. And these were the 2 principles which guided me in my 2 terms as Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. The team that I led propelled Pakistan into the modern era where our children would be trained in the technologies of the 21st centuries for the job of a 3rd millennium, where our country would be a haven for investment and a crossroads between the ancient silk routes of the East and the world of the West. Our restoration of macroeconomic stability was the centerpiece to our modernization.
There are some in your own party, Ms. Bhutto, who, in their own words, have been pressured.
There is no question of my stepping down. To do so would be playing into the hands of those who have supported dictatorship. I don't intend to do that.
Ms. Bhutto, your husband is sometimes referred to as Mr. 10%. His family is widely accused of naming friends and supporters to...
My husband is an honorable man who has been targeted as a way to indirectly discredit my own reputation and standing. The question is whether Pakistan remains a democracy or a dictatorship. If Pakistan is to remain a democracy, I don't expect to go on trial.